Have you ever wondered why you think the way you do? Why some people process the world through facts and logic, while others lead with feelings and values? Why some are natural planners, and others thrive in spontaneity? The answer lies in something most people have never heard of: cognitive functions. These functions are the hidden code that powers your personality type. They explain how you process information, how you make decisions, and why you naturally excel in some areas while struggling in others. And once you understand them, you'll see yourself, and the people around you, in a completely new light. Today, we're breaking down the 8 cognitive functions that shape every MBTI personality type, and revealing the secret patterns that explain how your mind works. What are cognitive functions? At their core, cognitive functions are mental processes, ways your brain prefers to gather information and make decisions. Each MBTI type uses 4 functions in a unique order called their function stack. 2 of these functions focus on perceiving, how you take in information. 2 focus on judging, how you make decisions based on that information. And each function can be introverted, focused inward, or extroverted, focused outward. The combination of these preferences is what creates the 16 distinct MBTI types. Think of cognitive functions as the operating system of your personality. 2 people can have similar traits, but if their functions are arranged differently, their entire approach to life will feel completely different. The perceiving functions, how you see the world. There are 4 perceiving functions, and each one has its own unique way of processing information. 1. Extroverted sensing, C. Lives in the moment, noticing every detail in the environment. Thrives on direct experience, action, and real-time adaptation. 2. Introverted sensing, as Psi. References the past, relying on stored memories and traditions to interpret the present. Finds comfort in patterns and familiarity. 3. Extroverted intuition, Ni. Sees endless possibilities, constantly making connections between ideas. Loves exploring what-if scenarios. 4. Introverted intuition, Ni. Looks for underlying patterns and future outcomes. Focused on the bigger picture and long-term vision. Your perceiving functions determine what catches your attention and how you process the flood of information the world throws at you. The judging functions, how you make decisions. Once you've taken in information, your judging functions decide what to do with it. 1. Extroverted thinking, T. Makes decisions based on logic, efficiency, and measurable results. 2. Introverted thinking, T. Focuses on internal logical consistency and understanding how things work. 3. Extroverted feeling, Phi. Prioritizes harmony, social values, and the needs of the group when making decisions. 4. Introverted feeling, for Phi. Makes decisions based on personal values, authenticity, and what feels morally right to the individual. Your judging functions are the decision makers of your personality, and they drive everything from career choices to how you handle relationships. Function order, the stack that shapes you. Every MBTI type has a function stack. 4 main functions arranged in a specific order. Dominant function, your strongest and most natural function. You use it without thinking. Auxiliary function, supports your dominant function and balances your personality. Tertiary function, less developed but grows stronger over time. Inferior function, the weakest and least natural, often a source of growth and challenge. For example, an INTP has T dominant, Ni auxiliary, C tertiary, and Phi inferior. A ESFJ has Fe dominant, C auxiliary, Ne tertiary, and Ti inferior. Same functions but in different positions, resulting in totally different personalities. How functions develop over time. When you're young, you mostly operate from your dominant function. It feels natural, effortless, and even automatic. In your teens and 20s, you start developing your auxiliary function, which balances your strengths and fills in your blind spots. By midlife, your tertiary function starts to become more comfortable, adding depth and flexibility to your personality. And the inferior function. That's often the hidden challenge of your personality, an area of weakness that, if developed, can bring incredible growth, but also one that trips you up when you're stressed. The stress factor, when functions. Flip under extreme stress. you might find yourself acting out of character. This is often because your dominant and auxiliary functions shut down, and your shadow functions, less conscious and less developed, take over. For example, an ENFP, normally creative and optimistic, might suddenly become hypercritical and detail-obsessed under stress. An ISTJ, normally calm and structured, might become impulsive and reckless. Understanding this pattern helps you spot stress early and get back to operating from your best self. Why understanding functions changes everything. When you truly understand cognitive functions, you stop trying to live in someone else's mental framework. You stop asking questions like, why can't I just be more like them? Or, why do I always struggle with this thing that seems so easy for others? Because suddenly you see that your mind isn't broken. It's wired differently. You stop fighting your nature. When you understand your dominant function, you can lean into it instead of feeling guilty for using it. If you're a dominant introverted intuition type, you stop forcing yourself to be hyper-spontaneous just because other people are. If you're a dominant extroverted sensing type, you stop feeling bad for preferring hands-on experiences over abstract theory. You start building a life that plays to your mental strengths instead of draining you by forcing you into your weaknesses. You start working smarter, not harder. Cognitive functions give you a cheat sheet for your personal growth. Instead of wasting years trying to fix what isn't broken, you can focus on developing your auxiliary and tertiary functions, strengthening your balance without burning out. For example, an INTP who understands their Tai-Ni combination learns that they need both quiet analysis and bursts of exploration to thrive. An ESFJ who understands their Phi-Psi pairing realizes they work best when helping others in familiar, structured environments. This awareness helps you choose the right careers, relationships, and habits. You gain compassion for others. One of the biggest shifts happens when you stop expecting everyone to process life the way you do. If your dominant function is introverted thinking and your friend's is extroverted feeling, you realize their emotional decision-making isn't irrational. It's just guided by a completely different internal compass. If your coworker leads with extroverted sensing and you lead with introverted intuition, you see that their living in the moment approach isn't reckless. It's how they naturally navigate the world. Instead of clashing, you start complementing each other. You build better communication. Understanding functions allows you to translate your thoughts into a form others can understand. You learn that a Ni-dominant might need time to process before speaking, while a Ni-dominant might need to talk things out to make sense of their ideas. You realize that an Fi user might not verbalize their emotions right away, but that doesn't mean they don't care. This leads to fewer misunderstandings and deeper trust in your relationships. You see your blind spots clearly. Every function stack has a weak spot, the inferior function. When you don't know yours, you'll keep tripping over it without realizing why. But when you do know it, you can catch yourself in the act. You can slow down. Adjust. Choose differently. That's how you turn blind spots into growth opportunities, instead of repeating the same mistakes over and over again. The bottom line? Understanding your cognitive functions isn't just about personality theory. It's about self-mastery. It's knowing your strengths so you can use them. It's seeing your weaknesses so they don't control you. And it's understanding others well enough to meet them where they are, instead of wishing they'd think like you. When you understand the code behind your personality, you finally have the tools to rewrite the parts of your life that aren't working, without changing who you are at your core. Your personality's secret blueprint. Cognitive functions are like the hidden wiring in your mind. They don't just shape how you act, they shape how you see, feel, and decide. When you understand them, you stop guessing at who you are and start unlocking your full potential. So, what's your function stack? And how has it shaped your life so far? Drop your personality type in the comments and let's see if you can spot your functions in action. If you want to go deeper into MBTI and personality psychology, make sure you check out our next video series where we will be diving into each cognitive function individually.